Hey, Wiley. Yes, busy day here at the household. Cat and the dog are out of control. Yep. All right. Good afternoon, YouTube. Thought we'd post an update to a video we did about 3 years ago regarding the Netgear Orbi. And this was the RBK53, the Orbi kit of 3. So you had one router and 2 satellites for this system. And it's coming up close to 3 years right now, and we've had a lot of inquiry as to how the system is still performing. We still haven't upgraded it at this time, but we thought we'd do a little follow-up video just so we can see current system specs, how it's working variously throughout the household as we did before, and any likes or dislikes that we do have about it. Again, this is the 3 Orbi system, and this package here that I purchased stated that it was good for 6,000 square foot home, and we currently have it deployed in a 3,000 square foot home. Typically around the 3-year timeline is when I usually find myself at the dilemma as to whether I'm replacing my routers in the household, and this has been true for the last several routers. About 3 years, and you end up normally replacing them. And so like I said, we are at about that timeline, so it's time to, I guess, reevaluate the current Orbi system. Currently in our household, we have this Orbi system functioning with maybe a dozen or more mobile devices, tablets and phones, and then we also have TVs, systems and receivers that are connected to it wirelessly. So we are putting, good strain on it. We are streaming 4K on a couple of TVs, so it does have good bandwidth going through it. One item to note regarding the functionality of the router system is we will be taking into account that our internet service provider speeds have increased since our last testing approximately 3 years ago. And we'll show the new speeds that we're getting now and what speeds the Orbi's satellites and the main one are producing on the mesh network. Another item I'd like to point out here is when we did the install for the Orbis, here's the ideal setup for the Orbi system in the household. As you can see here, and we had talked about, our current layout in our system is our modem, our main modem for our internet service provider, is all the way in a upper bedroom in the office in the upper corner. So we had previously Nighthawk up here and then a range extender down here to get signal all the way out to the TV out here, and it just wasn't quite enough to push it. So we installed the Orbi system, and right off the bat we had to wire or do it differently than it was here. We put the main Orbi router up in the office, and as you see here, they have the main Orbi router in the center of the household with satellites out in the corners, so it sends out to the satellites. So we were doing it wrong right off the bat, but we were fully aware of this based on the layout currently for the modem that was in the house, and having to have wired components up here and not wireless components up here. So we put our main one up here, our first satellite out here, and the other satellite all the way in the corner of the house, and the speeds were amazing. So we didn't bother changing the setup at all. We kept it how we've had it for the last 3 years with 0 issues at all. However, I would like to point out, this is the RBK53, the 3-year-old version, with the tri-band Wi-Fi back to the router, with dedicated wireless connection. The new system setup, as you can see on their online portal, is they have the Orbi router in the corner of the household, one far end, and then a satellite, and then a satellite. So this is how we had set up our system from beginning. They're calling it Fastlane 3 technology now, between the router and the satellites, but this is how we had set up our system from the beginning, and it worked flawlessly. So I see perhaps they watched my video and said, hey, let's set it up this way, works better. Who knows? But that's the way they're doing it now on their diagram online, is the way that we did it 3 years ago. The other thing to note is with their new RBK53, with the Fastlane 3 technology and the layout that we've been running, instead of the 6,000 square foot system as I had purchased several years ago, they now say it's for a 7,500 square foot home. So even larger. So should work even better. And this is for the old Netgear Orbi routers. There are newer versions coming out, which perhaps we will try to get some of those and run some tests with those to see if they're any better than these. But hold tight, you'll see the speeds that we're still getting with this, with our new internet service provider speeds. And you can kind of make the decision if something like this will work in your home. Test here, and this is in the same room with the main Orbi hub. And we are still running the main hub in the furthest corner of the house, which is next to our internet service provider router. So we are getting very good speeds in the room wirelessly to the Orbi system. 401 or 404 and maybe 16, 17 up megabits per second. So very fast. For doing pretty much anything you need to do. Those speeds are going to rocket. So let's go ahead and check a different room, and we'll see how that performs when you walk around here. Oh, and yeah, admire the, yes, we have everything up for Halloween. So one of our favorite times of the year. So we're just getting everything set up for Halloween. This will be the theater room, which we've tested in previously as well. And this room probably is 30 feet from the main Orbi system. This room is not directly over an Orbi, but it is, probably 30 feet from one of the three. So we'll kind of see 30 or 40 feet. So we'll see exactly what we're running here in this room. This room we primarily watch movies in on our big projector screen, and stream video from all the services here as well. So furthest from, this room is probably furthest from any of the Orbis, and we're getting about 230 down and still about 17 up, which is still plenty of bandwidth to do anything that you... Here we'll just test in the master bath, and this room is going to be directly above one of the Orbis downstairs. So we'll go ahead and see what we're running here in this room. Again, you have floors separating the Orbi from this room. This is the furthest room in the house from the main unit without changing floors. And 289 in, again, about 17. Downstairs, and our Orbi just kind of stacked away down here on the bottom of this cart, out of sight from everything. This is the Orbi that's kind of in the middle of the house, but then this is a satellite Orbi. So we'll see how it is performing here in the middle of the house. Ideally, this is where the main Orbi hub should be, is in the center of the house. But the speed's still fairly good, so why change it? This is working for our needs. Is like I said before, the modem for the internet service provider is all the way upstairs in the corner of the house, and not in the middle of the home. So the system does work the way we have it set up. And we will go ahead and check the downstairs area where we have our main living room TV, and the Orbi is in the far corner of this room, directly kitty corner from the opposite end of the house, so the furthest end of the house downstairs. Yeah, so these speeds are primarily where we do most of our 4K streaming in this location. So 316 megabits per second, not going to be a problem for... We'll just test one more speed location here. We'll test by the front door. Yeah, still pegging around 300. 340, 330, 350. Good speeds. So overall, still very impressed with the Orbi system and its speeds that it's providing and the range of coverage in our household. There's no need to upgrade for me at this time. They're still running strong. I will have you note, we were seeing 300s for the speed test from the Orbis. The internet service provider is providing more speed than that, and we'll kind of go ahead and just test that right here and see what they're providing. So somewhere over 500, she dropped down a little bit, 470s, 500. But it would beg to question the difference on the Orbi systems, what the bandwidth is, what they're allowed, what the uplink, downlink is on these. And it might be close to reaching its limitations. But as far as reaching its limitations for what we are using it for, it's by far still exceeding those expectations and needs. So I hope this little follow-up video for the Orbi system has helped you out. Please feel free to drop any questions, comments on the system. I'll try to answer them the best that I can. As always, thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe.